Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Creative Differences Podcast, your one-stop shop for movie reviews, Throwback Thursdays, Fancast Fridays, and a number of other pop culture-related items, including interviews now. I'm Dallas, and I enjoy rewatching The Boys because I know which scenes to skip, like that octopus one. Like I said, today we have a guest. Our guest today is a friend of the show, and not in the way that we say that about actors who just listened to the show before, like an actual friend of the show. He is a DJ, music producer, house music producer specifically, independent artist. If you've seen Gen V, if you got one episode into Gen V, then you heard his song Body Talk. And equally important, he is a cool dude from Pasadena that I went to high school with, DJ Dioria. What's up, man?
Woo! Hello. Great intro.
Thank you.
You. Appreciate that. Thank you for having me here. I'm pumped.
Yeah, I don't get to do a lot of intros because it's usually just us. So thanks for coming through.
Yeah, this is incredible. Gen V, I'm still writing this like high from the show. Man, I got the call for the show.
Yeah.
About my song being in the show in 2022, about a year prior to the release. And I was at a loss for words then. I'm still at a loss for words now because all last year, like the Actors Guild went on strike, the Writers Guild went on strike. So, I was just calling my like my publisher, going back and forth all year, like, hey, is the show still gonna drop? Is the show still gonna drop? Because the only way for the song to not be in the scene is if they just drop the whole show completely. So until we got confirmation, like, I wasn't gonna get my hopes up about anything, and like until we got confirmation for the show. And then sure enough, like when I saw all the trailers and the posters popping up for Gen V, I was like, oh,
so like,
this is tight,
Yeah. When they hit you up, did you know what? Because you didn't watch The Boys before that, right?
No.
So like when they said, oh, there's a show Gen V, like, did you know what they were talking about?
Had no idea. I had no idea. And then what's even more like mind-boggling is that the show was like number one for what, like 3 months on Amazon.
It was popping on there.
It was
every time.
For 3, like, I mean, some of the scenes in the whole thing were kind of just like,
insane.
Insane,
Yeah.
But like, I can't control what scene my song is in.
Yeah.
Like, so when the show came out, it came out on my father's birthday.
Oh, wow.
Came out on my dad's birthday, and then so that just made it even more special.
That's dope.
Like they still don't know how to process like how did you get your.
Honestly, same. Like when you told me, I was like, wait, what? Gen V? I watched that show.
Yeah. And then but I'm just like speechless still, because a lot of people want to work with me now, which is
that's awesome.
Like that's all I want is like to collaborate, record people, and just keep creating like just dope house tracks, stuff for the club, stuff for shows, stuff for whatever.
So what's up?
Oh, I was just gonna say, like the first episode, Body Talk, my song, is in a club scene.
It's a perfect scene.
It's a perfect scene.
How are you alone right now? I mean, I can't be the first guy to hit on you tonight. Statistically speaking, that seems impossible.
I'm waiting for my boyfriend.
Fair enough. How about heads, I stay. Tails, I leave.
Like they could have chose any any like any huge club record, and they chose like an independent artist, which is
Yeah, that is really dope.
crazy.
Um, so I wanted to ask you because, like, I've known that you were doing music for a while now,
Hmm.
but like I said, we went to high school together, but we didn't
Hmm.
really stay into contact after.
Hmm.
So, like, it was like one day we were in statistics class, and then one day you're on Instagram, like DJing house music. So, like, how did you even get into making music in the first place? Was it like right after school
That's a
or
good
more
question.
recent?
That's a good question. Um, After high school, I kind of went through this like path of discovery.
All right.
Cause in high school, I was a baseball player,
Yeah, that's true.
4 year
You
varsity
were.
baseball. Um, Grew up playing sports. I do not come from a musical background at all,
Right.
at all. Like high school senior year, I started having a lot of injuries. My
Mm,
arm was just falling off, and um, just I just kept thinking to myself, like, what can I envision myself doing? And I stumbled upon this school in Hollywood. I was 22, called SAE, School of Audio Engineering.
right.
It So I learned a lot of like I come from an engineering background,
Okay.
setting up microphones,
Yeah.
um, learning how to piece together a record from scratch. Because there at the school at the program, we had to do like 900 hours of just like going to the studio for all the projects and like make all the deadlines, and it taught me a lot, honestly, like how to run a board, how to set up mics, how to, and
Yeah.
then we were learning like all the audio stuff, like live sound recording, um lavalier, like how to do interviews, like lavalier mics.
Yeah.
um, and then after that program, I was interning at a studio in Pasadena, and it was an internship, so I wasn't getting paid, but I was like being like a runner,
Right.
like getting them lunch,
Mhm.
um, cleaning up after sessions, wrapping up cables, and when they let me go like a month later,
Mhm.
I realized that like the engineering route is it's not for me.
Right.
So I was like, what brings me like the most joy? And then that was like in 2015. I was making a lot of my early records on Logic.
Okay.
Like in the beginning, it was Logic. At the studio, I was recording with Avid Pro Tools. Um, And the early stuff did not sound really good, you
Ah.
know? Cause in high school, like, being a junior and going to all the raves,
Mhm.
I was like, that's what brings me the most joy is like the feeling I get when I'm at a club, the feeling I get when I'm like at a festival. And then after like not really engineering, I was like, why don't I just try out like house music? So then I started becoming a student of house music, and and then a buddy of mine convinced me to switch over from Logic to Ableton, and that was like in 2017, 2018.
Okay.
And after I discovered like Ableton, which is another music like software,
Yeah.
everything kind of just clicked. Like my workflow, I was quicker. Um, just like everything kind of just started coming together. I started just really like dialing in my sound, really finding myself as a producer. and then through the power of networking, just getting gigs,
Nice.
being able to play my music on a PA system so I could hear
Oh
what
yeah.
like what my records would sound like on a huge sound system. That's the
Hmm.
reason why I became a DJ, so I could hear my music on a big PA system, and if it sounds like shit, I could just go home and
Yeah,
tweak it,
that's
you
smart.
know.
Use whatever you
But
can.
that, but that's really the. It kind of just fell like I don't know how to explain it. Like how I got into or like making music, I was like,
Right.
and that. But a lot of YouTube videos,
Yeah.
like
YouTube.
learning music theory, that helped.
It's crazy how much you learn on YouTube now.
hmm
There's a video for everything.
Literally, but in high school there wasn't any YouTube, so like,
Right. We were just watching like little flash animations. There wasn't any kind of like better like what do they call the Skillshare, all that stuff. Nobody was getting on YouTube trying to teach everybody everything.
mm-mm. But I call it YouTube University.
I feel you. That's real.
And like that helped out a lot for music theory, because a lot of producers, are really just, I'm not gonna say stuck on like putting samples together, and
Hmm.
then I don't really do it like that. Like I play everything, and
Right.
like drum sequencing of playing the keys, just really building a record from scratch.
I feel you. Um, Speaking of YouTube, I was watching your music video for Body Talk today because I had heard the song like a bunch of times. So I realized I'd never actually watched the video. So I was like, let me see if there's a music video. And I just happened to look at the credits and I see that your choreographer and dancer number
Yeah,
three is
yeah,
Sydney,
yeah.
Sydney Brianna.
Yeah.
Shout out to Sydney. We hang out all the time. And I didn't know that you
Mhm.
guys collabed on that. I was like, wait. So I looked, I was like, that is Sydney.
Yeah.
Were y'all still like in contact this whole time, or you knew that she did choreography stuff, or
I
what?
knew that she did choreography. I knew that she went to school for it, and
Right.
um off and on chatting, and one day out of the blue I said, I got this record, I need a video,
Yeah.
I have like some kind of budget,
Hmm.
and let's please. And I sent her the song, and then I rented out this incredible studio. My videographer Jay, really close friend of mine.
Okay.
um that was the last video that we've done together. um that was like the end of 2022, because when I got the call for the show,
Hmm.
I was like, okay, I need to like plan like how I'm gonna promote it. So I was like, this song needs a video.
Oh, definitely. You gotta have a video for that.
This song needs a video. And then like I think it was like maybe a month or two of just planning before
Hmm.
like video shoot day. And uh Sydney had like a group of dancers, um like 5 or 6 people together, and
Okay.
like including her. Like it was supposed to be a bigger like dance setup, and then I didn't know the amount of work that it takes to like like make a whole thing like
Oh yeah.
that. Um so I guess some of the dancers requested like, oh, does this person have like any type of insurance in case we get
Mm,
like hurt or something?
right.
Because the on the ground was this like a turntable, but on the ground.
Okay.
So during the video shoot, it was moving, like so that Jay could get like the perfect shot
Right.
as they
Right.
were.
Right.
So a couple of them backed out.
Yeah.
A couple of I mean, I wasn't really expecting like all I know is that I got a great group of people
Yeah,
behind me and the outcome of the videos
yeah, it worked out.
incredible.
But yeah, that was really dope. It was really dope to see.
Yeah, I'm glad you like it. Demi, have you heard the record?
Yeah, I was actually just listening to it right before we started recording. Research.
Yeah.
What's your take from it from watching it like on the show, listening to it on headphone or wherever you're listening to it on, and then I don't know if you've seen the video
I have
yet or
not seen the
not,
music
but
video.
man,
I'm
the
gonna look at that.
video, mm, it's pretty
Definitely gonna
good.
look
It's
at
like
that later.
it's a great production. Like,
Yeah, it's a dope
mm,
video. It fits the song well too. Like the whole
mm-hmm.
vibe of the song fits with, colors and the lights. Sydney's throwing ass on camera. As she likes
Yeah,
to do.
literally.
As she likes to do.
She was having fun, like just sitting on the couch at the place and just
Hmm.
watching everyone where I was really taking it all in, you know?
Feel it.
Like midday, I was like, Jay, I need to have a cameo or something.
Yeah, because you're in the beginning of the video, right?
I'm just in the
Yeah,
beginning.
you're just in the
I was
beginning.
like, I just want a cameo and that's it, you know? So like, my logo and then me,
Mhm.
and then I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, this is friends.
And you pop out.
This is friends, like time to shine,
I feel you.
So it's like I'll give the spotlight on Fran,
Yeah. So you,
mean-
our audience, Guy and I like hung out like a week ago, got lunch together, and we talked about a bunch of this stuff. So I'm asking him basically to say a lot of the stuff he said to me off my.
That's all good.
But
all good.
Yeah. So tell us how you and Fran hooked up to make the song.
The person that's in the video, Derek,
Mm-hmm.
it's a rapper. Now ex to Fran, but they were
Okay.
dating. And Derek and I's mutual friend invited us out to Fran's show in like 2018, long time ago.
Right.
And seeing Fran live, and it's like, man, I want to do a record with, like, I don't know if she wants to do a record with like a house artist, but like it was at that show, I was like, oh my gosh. So I reached out to her, I think like Instagram or something, 2018. I was like, hey, do you want to work on her? She's like, like, you like your music hasn't really progressed, you know what I mean? As far as like sound and quality and stuff. Like she turned me down first,
Right.
and like I didn't take it in like a negative light. It really just boosted me into just get my together,
That's good.
And then when the opportunity came again, I had made this instrumental for Body Talk. I pitched it to Fran again, or a different record, and then she hit me with there's not enough melody. And then I was like, what do I do? So then I called up my friend Matt, incredible guitarist.
Okay.
We had worked on something a while ago, and I was like, I need your guitar again.
Right.
Please, I need your guitar. So I sent him the record. He recorded his guitar. I was like, hey, Fran, how about this? And then I got a voice note of her singing Body Talk on a voice note.
Yeah.
Like on her phone.
Just singing into the phone.
Like maybe an hour later after I sent it to her. And then I was like, I need to go to your studio, or I need to go just record you.
Right.
So I took my mic, I packed everything up, so you just never know.
Yeah,
Like, you really just never know, you know?
it's pretty like
But
you start like she's recording a voice note into a phone, and now she's on Amazon Prime in a superhero show.
I know. And like, man, like for her to just like, cause cause she's in a band, like she does her own, she's just incredible. So
That's
for
awesome.
her to just like, oh wait, you know,
Hmm.
Dioria house,
Yeah,
I, I still can't stop thinking about it,
I
you
feel you,
know?
man.
Cause I went there to her old apartment, Pasadena, or sorry, Altadena. And
All right,
then
yeah.
um I left my interface at home, like to
Mm,
plug the mic in.
right.
I had to drive all the way back to, to where I was at, pick it up, come back, set everything up. But just the feeling I had when I was recording, mm,
Yeah, when you know, you know.
I yeah, yes. Literally, just the feeling I got when I was recording, it was I've only had like a couple moments where I was in like a session
Hmm.
and then those goosebumps start going,
Right.
you know? And that was one of them. I was like, I'm recording my first, like in my head. Because you have to be quiet, you know.
Right. Yeah. She's
But
singing.
man, just watching her creative process and like keeping up with the artist as an engineer, like I was utilizing SAE skills while recording like Fran, like
Yeah.
engineering stuff. So for me to just get it done,
Hmm.
oh,
That's dope, and that must
crazy.
be like some crazy validation to feel like that. Be like, this is that one, and then you get that call, and they're like, "Yo, we need that
Yeah,
song."
man, that one song, it literally inspired me to just make a whole album.
That's dope.
Like make, you know, make eight I think it was like 11 records. 3 of them couldn't make it on the whole project,
Mm.
um yeah, making that one song, I spent all of 2021 and 20, making this album of
Nice.
just like vocalists, like a lot of collaborations. Like Dana Mihal is from Spain.
Oh wow.
Tiffany Trueblood is from, what is it, like North Carolina?
Okay. People
Uh
from everywhere.
People from everywhere. And then working with Fran, working with a buddy of mine from Hollywood, Jared Page, J Page.
Okay.
He came over to where I was living at before. Same thing. Came over, recorded him. Connor from Wisco, Jeff from Polar Passenger. Um, it taught me so much,
Yeah.
Dallas. Just like
That's
how
cool,
to
man.
make a body of work,
Hmm.
and then.
Right.
But yes, the most validating thing so far, like besides playing at Avalon and Exchange and playing at all these gigs and
Yeah.
um yeah, it is probably like one of the most validating things to happen to me right now. Yet,
I feel it. Yeah. Right. At this point, so far,
at this point so far,
there will be more coming up.
I sure hope so.
So we talked about how you are independent, obviously. Um, and you kind of hinted at some of the stuff that like turned you off from the major like label.
Correct.
I'm not trying to like DJ Vlad incriminate nobody. So like, if you don't
I'm not either.
okay, yeah, if you don't want to get into it, you don't have to get into it. But like you did mention that there was some stuff that you were like, nah, I'm not really down with that. And that you were
Mm-mm.
happier being on the independent.
Yes, I am incredibly st- uh, just to be able to own my own masters.
Right.
I'm all about like, you know, owning my art.
Mm-hmm.
Like the whole part about being independent is that you're the machine. At the end of the day, you're the machine.
Yeah.
You know, like why join the machine, the other machine, where they're gonna devalue my art at like 20%,
Mm.
you know, where they keep all the profit at 80%.
Yeah.
So to me, it was just like a no-brainer for me. Like I really had to just really sit on it and just really think. You know, I talked to a lot of people um about it, and I just didn't want to do it. At the end of the day, I just didn't want to do
I feel
it.
you.
You
Yeah.
know, like I've been navigating pretty well, like on
Mm-hmm.
my own, you know, and I mean, maybe like the streams ain't, I never focus too much on the numbers, you know. I
Which
like
is good. Yeah.
it, which is good, and just having something like one placement
Mm-hmm.
can change those numbers for you.
Yeah,
You know what
definitely.
I mean? Like someone at Amazon put my record because um you know, my publisher before the show came out, he's like, man, you better make sure this song is out. You
Yeah.
better make sure the song is out before the show comes out. I was
Yeah.
like, man, it's been out since January, you know?
Mm-hmm.
It's been
Yeah.
out since January. And I was like, it's already ready to go, you know?
Yeah.
And then but someone at Amazon put it in the official Gen V playlist on Spotify and Apple Music.
Oh, dope.
And then those two things have just been crazy,
Yeah.
honestly.
That'll definitely boost them up.
And then it's literally just been a snowball effect. Like this one, you know, everybody's watching Gen V.
Mm-hmm.
Like I go from having barely anyone listening to my stuff to like uh you know, I had like what total 17,000 streams
Mm.
like prior to the show total for
Right.
like 5 years. Yeah, like 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like from 2018 to 2023. And then because of the show and like them adding it to the Gen V like official album basically, you
Mm-hmm.
know, then dude, my stuff's getting like Shazammed everywhere.
Yeah.
People are like watching the video on YouTube. People are listening to my other stuff that's out. And then I could see like where people are adding, where people are playing.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and it's like this record is being played in like 170 countries,
That's
you
crazy.
know? It's
That's so wild.
crazy.
Yeah.
It's so crazy to me, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. It's crazy what like the right person hearing your stuff can do for
Yeah. Yes.
it. Yeah. Like the person who
I
needed to hear it to be like, yeah, I could pick this song for this scene was the right person. And they're like, bam, let's get this song on here.
but the just my publisher though, like he believes in me um as a person.
Good.
You know what I mean? I think just having that like relationship in itself
Yeah.
crazy. Like that story of how we met is like mm, I was telling you about it, Dallas, last
Right.
time.
Yeah.
But man, like that whole thing was cool because and it was right before COVID.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Right before COVID. All the clubs closed 2020.
Right.
And I was like set up to like I was, you know, I was trying to get into sound, I was trying to get into academy, like all these big venues that I
Mm-hmm.
don't normally play at, you know. I was, you know, talking and trying to network and just to get the gig. And then COVID happened,
Yeah, that'll shut everything down.
shut everything down, and I had signed a music publishing deal. For those that don't know what that means, instead of a record deal where you could get the same thing at a record, you know, like a, you know, publishing, the gigs, the distribution, I like went around the label and I got and I signed a music publishing deal with with a smaller independent like catalog basically.
Right.
And then when all the clubs closed, COVID, everything, I was like, man, I gotta just get in the studio more, create more. And I'm very grateful for him because he's the reason that he's like, man, you're doing a lot of instrumentals.
Mm-hmm.
Get some get some vocals on there.
Yeah.
Like really encouraging me to just like step my game up. You already got a good sound. Like, why don't we just,
Right.
like coaching me almost. I'm so grateful, dude.
That's good. That's awesome. You need somebody to tell you like what that thing is that you need sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, bro, just throw some vocals on there.
Throw some vocals on it, and then he's like, dude, come from SAE, like just record people,
Mhm.
shit. And I didn't even like think of it like that because I was more at that time though, focused more on DJing rather than producing,
Right.
And then it clicked, something clicked. I think COVID was a hard time for everybody, but it was a good time for me because I
It's weird,
got to hone in on the craft of
Mhm.
just creating a record, a good record.
It was a weird time because it was like, obviously, for a bunch of obvious reasons, it's a very hard time. But like for certain types of people, like if you're the type to lock in and just start creating stuff when you have the time, when you're gonna have more time than when you can't go outside. Like that was definitely the time for people to start.
Man. And then one thing to like pass time though,
Mhm.
I invested in like a, controller, like a, you know, thing that I could play music on and start doing live streams,
Oh yeah.
So I was doing a lot of like my gig was on
Mhm.
Instagram lives,
Yeah.
Twitch. I don't think I have a Twitch anymore, but I want to incorporate that more. But
I feel you.
I was like, why don't I just bring the club to like my room or something?
Yeah, it worked. A lot of people started doing like live stream
Mhm.
became super popping.
It still is huge. It's still
Mhm.
like live streaming is still popular, and
Yeah, like
um
people just getting super famous off of sitting on the computer playing video
yeah.
games. It's wild.
For me, I'm now like from 2020 to now, like all I want to do is just create music. I hate creating content for like
Mm,
TikTok and like I
right.
know like I should be posting a lot more, but
Mhm. I feel you. Yeah, it's the same like with we make our like our videos and our audios and stuff like that, but it's like we got to do the social media or no one's gonna know this stuff exists.
yeah.
But yeah,
It's like a catch 22 for just all creatives, like
hmm
like it's just a different art.
right, yeah, like make it into something creative, or
Mhm.
you'll at least want to do it.
Mhm. Like I think if people just believed in themselves a little more, like
Yeah,
instead of you know, I don't want to come across as like some kind of like guru that knows it all, but but like um there's a lot of people that seek that validation
Hmm.
from others, you know,
Yeah.
when it should always be just if you believe in your art, if you believe in the craft, if you believe in just yourself, and if you believe in it, like everything will kind of just start like coming your way
Right. Yeah. Like put
straight
it out
up,
there.
you know?
Yeah, I feel you. So a lot of people are like, I want to do it, but I don't know if I could like da 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 da. And it's like, well, what's the worst that's gonna happen if you do it?
Literally,
You
yeah.
might,
What's the words that
yeah,
what it
it might
literally
blow up, and you
you
might
got
get everything you want,
got nothing to lose, you know?
or it doesn't, and then you still sitting here doing what you're doing now. So it's like either way, you're fine.
I mean, it also helps to have like a placement too, like,
Definitely.
you know what I mean? And like now, like, my moves now are just, you know, building just a following or more of a presence on social media,
Hmm.
you know. That's like where I'm at now is like I know I got to create content, but
Yeah.
it's like just gonna add a whole other thing to
Hmm.
like an already busy thing, you know.
Yeah.
So it's just for me really just managing time,
Right.
becoming a better time manager.
Yeah. That's a big one for like whatever you're doing. If you ain't got
Mhm.
the time, you're not gonna get it done. I wanted to ask you so like since your song was in Gen V, episode 1, bam.
Mhm. Bam.
Have you been hit up by any other like shows or movies, anything like that?
I haven't been I'm always in contact with my publisher,
Okay.
not the movie or the show itself.
So they'll go to your publisher and then he'll come to
Mhm.
you and be like, yo,
Correct.
got
Correct.
you. Okay.
Correct.
That makes sense.
Mhm. So I didn't give him any music in 2023.
Nothing.
Last year, I didn't give him anything. I uh Personally, I felt that I needed to take a break from
Okay.
everything so I could get my mental just back under control. Cause I was going pretty hard in the paint from 2015 to 2023.
Right.
And, not gonna dive into the personal stuff, but
All right. Fair.
I
That's your
just
business.
like I just needed to like take a break.
Yeah.
And the break was so valid because I knew I had Gen V in the bag,
Hmm.
at the end of 2022. And, I had just done the video. And then after I got the final version of the video, I put out the whole album, just getting everything ready to go,
Hmm.
just building it up to the show release. And I had a lot of conversations with the people closest around me, and I just said I just need to just get my mental um back on track, and the only thing for me was to just not like walk away from music, but just take a long valid break
Yeah.
from everything,
I feel you.
you know. And I'm so glad I did that because, man, once the show came out, I just started hit the ground running again, you know?
Right. Yeah. And it's like the perfect time. You put in all this work. You have this thing lined up. Like you don't need to be burning yourself out. Like if there's a time to take a break, it's like, bam, chill right now.
Mhm.
That's gonna come out, and then you're gonna ride that way for a bit, and then when you're ready to go,
I'm
you just hop back in. Exactly.
still riding that, you know?
Yeah.
And man, I'm I'm always in this room. I'm always in my studio. Um, if I'm not working,
Hmm.
uh I'm just here creating, not on a daily. Like, let's
Okay.
not get it twisted. Not on a daily kind of thing.
Right.
Not on like I'm not a producer that like let me write a record every day, you
Right.
know,
You're not.
or something. Like I have to be in just like a this space, this like I have to really want to do it.
I feel
And
you. Yeah. You're
it's just
creative. Home.
like I'm channeling something
Hmm.
and it's just flowing like I'm not a producer that makes like a 16 bar 32 bar thing which is like 30 seconds of music.
Hmm.
Like when I write something new, I'm stretching it out to like 3 minutes and 30 and then until I'm like happy with what I have,
Hmm.
then I'm like, okay, all right, I got the foundation. I could take a break from this and that, like today and then come
Right.
back to it, you know?
Yeah.
My creative process is sacred.
That's good. That's the most
Like
important thing.
so sacred. I'm not going to be one of those people that oh, look at how I did this. Look at
Mm,
how I did that. Look
right.
at, you know, I'm sure I mean that's probably good for content. It works for other people, but
Yeah.
for me, man, that's like so personal to me.
I feel you. Yeah. That's like your main. That's what you're doing. That's your passion. So
Hmm.
whatever works for you, you got to make it work.
But to answer your question though, there have been a lot of people that want to work with me. Um, a lot of collaborators that I've collaborated with in the past are reaching out again. Um, I'm working. Can't say that, but I'm working. I'm working with a
Okay.
vocalist in Poland
Okay.
right now.
Cool.
We're
Going
working on
global.
it. Uh, we already have a song together called "Runaway,"
Right. Right.
and I'm producing like a whole like EP with her. It's sounding so good.
Nice.
It really is. Um, I have so apart from taking a break though, you know, I was supposed to finish up this project with a vocalist in Oregon, and that was in 2022. It's now 20. So I think this year for me is just finishing music. That's a
Okay.
goal of mine
Yeah.
for this year is to just finish more music, you know? And the
Okay.
more music I finish, the more opportunities I could get
That's true.
with my publisher. So, I mean, that's
Yeah.
the way I look at publishing, or I mean, that's how I've been navigating through publishing is the more music I make, the more opportunities are going to happen,
That
you
makes
know.
sense. Yeah. Each song, as you can see now, is an opportunity. Like Body Talk turned into a huge
I
opportunity.
know. I know. I want number 2 now. That's like
Right. Yeah.
I want number 2 so
And
bad.
it's good. Like we talked about when we had lunch that time. Like it's funny the way these things work out because once you start to get in there, then you just get more and more because now people are seeing you here. Like, oh, that dude is dope. Let me work with this. Da 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 da. So it's like you got that step in already. So at this
Mhm.
point, it's probably just gonna keep rolling.
It also helps to just be friends with a lot of people.
Right. Yeah.
Like
Networking.
yeah, networking is going out and showing face. It seems like the most cliche thing, but you know, a buddy of mine is a promoter and called me up out of the blue. Uh what, April? It's like, yo, a buddy of mine can't make it tonight. I need you to come out and like
Oh wow.
fill in, you know?
Yeah.
And I was just available. So you know, I got my headphones, I you know, put all these records I want to play on a USB,
Hmm.
and that's all I need is just some headphones and a USB. And I drove out there, and he invited me again a couple days ago. So
Perfect.
it's like perfect.
Yeah.
Like what more can you ask for?
That networking will work.
You know? But the opportunities though they're coming. I'm so grateful, you know. And I get to share all this stuff with y'all, you
Yeah,
know.
bro.
Y'all are doing good stuff too,
Thank you,
you
man. I
know.
appreciate you.
Like ever since reaching out to you last year and talking, we've been talking about this for a while. I hope you
Yeah,
know.
we've been talking about it for a minute, and then when I
But
saw that The
mhm,
Boys was about to have a new season, I was like, "Well, that's perfect. We'll drop it with that."
perfect timing. I'm looking forward to like getting more in like into the boys.
Yeah,
Um, and then I started listening to y'all and what
I
y'all got
appreciate you.
going on, and it's all funny stuff.
Thank you, man.
Y'all all work well together, you know.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
And your voices, that radio sound, you know.
Yeah, man. You try to put the smooth jazz voice on sometimes. Make it work. That's good, man. Um, so yeah, I was gonna ask, but you kind of hinted at like what you're working on next.
Okay,
That you
I mean,
can talk about at least. Yeah.
mhm.
Anything that you can't keep that's yours, keep it.
Um, working on just a lot of projects, just music. I'm working on music,
I feel you.
but I'm not mixing and mastering my own music.
Okay.
I'm just being a producer.
Right.
Like
Right. You're not doing the
I
engineering stuff.
I'm not I mean, even though I come from an engineering background, it just
Hmm.
from start to finish, it's a long process. And once I start mixing and mastering my own records, then I get too involved with
Mm-hmm.
the record and I just get tired of it.
Okay, right. It becomes more
So it's
work.
like, mhm. It's
Yeah.
like, why don't I just put the put the work on someone else, someone that has a fresh like mindset,
Hmm.
um, and then just go back and forth with the engineer. I met someone recently, and his slogan is "We're only as good as our engineer."
I like
And
it.
I'm like, that's facts because that is so factual because you know um the person who mixed my record body to like the whole LP body to
Hmm.
he lives in Boston,
Oh wow. Okay.
and uh the mastering engineer lives in Poland.
Man.
so so I had all these records made, you
Hmm.
know, and then I'd send the mix engineer stems via email to Boston, and then him and I back and forth for like a whole year. And then I learned a lot throughout that whole time because you know he really just took my sound from like being okay to like
Hmm.
being great, you know
Nice.
and then just getting all those mixes back. And then once I had all these mixes, I was like, okay, now I need to like put it all together. So then i
Hmm.
found i found a mastering engineer in Poland, and like specializes in dance music. That was one thing that I was looking for in choosing a mastering engineer.
Right.
And then he just took the good quality of a good mix and then just like putting the final on it,
Hmm.
and then um but yeah, like I just love creating. Like at the end of the day, I
That's
love
good.
I love creating, and I love recording vocals. And not necessarily my vocals. I love collaborating with with a professional vocalist that knows what they're doing, you
Okay.
know?
So we're not gonna hear you singing on any of your tracks.
Maybe like in the future,
Okay.
but like then I need to start networking with songwriters,
Mm,
like a good songwriter that could just write a good record, and then like, you know, when we're recording, then like they could help me. I mean, Dallas, I
yep.
also used to sing in choir at PHS.
Oh, snap. I don't even think I knew that.
No one did.
So you got a voice on you.
I
You
do
could
have a
be
voice.
singing on these
I
tracks.
could be singing. I
Okay.
really could. All throughout high school, from freshman year to senior year, I was in the choir with Miss Seatall.
Oh yeah, Miss Seattle,
With
man.
Miss Seatall, and Petra,
Yeah.
you know. And I think the love and the joy of making music started, or not, I wasn't even making music. I was just singing gospel records,
Right, you're involved though. You're involved in the
Baptist
music.
churches.
Yeah. Man, that's crazy.
And then, um, yeah, I really could sing though.
That's good.
I really could,
Yeah,
and
you're gonna have to do that.
I think it helps too because in some of my sessions, I gotta be like a vocal coach in a way, like, oh, like
Okay.
sing this. I'm
Right.
not telling them what to sing about,
Yeah.
but telling them like, hey, why don't we try like going a higher octave? Why don't we try
Mhm.
going in a lower octave? Like really expanding the creative, like uh I don't even know what I'm trying to say.
I feel you though. Like you know it's gonna sound good for the music that you're making.
Yes,
So,
yes, yes, right there,
yeah.
right there. But I'm working on a lot, man. Got a
That's
lot
dope, man.
going on.
Yeah, I'm happy for you, man. I'm really glad you got to
Thank
like
you,
take this
Dallas.
thing that you really love and you're taking it to the next level with it.
Or trying to.
Yeah, you are. Taking it there.
Gen V helped a lot, that was I mean, that's just one, and I know, like, I'm just excited for the what's to come.
Yeah, man, that's dope. I'm excited for you.
Thank you. Thank you, thank you.
But yeah, man, is there anything else that you want to let people know before we hit our outro?
Um, you could follow me at Dioria Music, Dauria Music on Instagram, on TikTok, whatever, Twitter, X now. It's not called.
Oh yeah.
Uh, I
We
try
don't
to
call it that here.
stay. But man, I got some gigs lined up. Uh, I'm giving my publisher more music. Um, gonna be working on that content,
Oh yeah.
you know,
Get that content going.
get that content going. Um, and okay, last thing I'm gonna say,
What's up?
like you heard it first, but I'm in the process of starting my own independent label.
Hey, got the exclusive. That's dope, man.
And the amount of work it took for the video and then the amount of work it's taking for this,
Yeah.
hate it. But
It'll be worth it.
hate it. It'll be worth it. I
Yeah.
want to just provide other independent people like me with an opportunity to just be able to collaborate with me and utilize my resources, and to just be that voice for like other independent house music artists as well. you
Yeah.
know? And that's what I'm working on, really.
Love it. That's good, man. That's
But
good.
yeah,
Especially as you grow and get
progress.
more
Yes.
resources, then you're gonna be able to help even more people, which is good.
Hmm. But more about that later. But
I feel yeah, you're in the early stages.
hmm But thank you for everything. Thank you for taking the time and inviting me here to share all this information with
Oh yeah,
you.
man. Thanks for coming through. Glad to hear from you.
Hmm.
All right. Yeah, audience, thank you for listening, coming through for us. As always, thank you, our people over at Crown Digital, Brandon Io, putting us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. To me, thank you for editing, putting this on YouTube. Like it's not like you said, we're only as good as our engineer. I'm always like, we're only as good as our editor, because I can be on here saying all kind of stuff. If she don't edit it, it's not coming out. So as always,
Well, I hope you. Well, I hope you edit this one.
yes, she got. She will edit this one to get us out there on YouTube. Yeah, audience, as always, you can reach us in the comments. You get us on Twitter at y'all_different, Instagram and Tumblr at Creative Differences Podcast, Facebook.com/Creative Differences PC, or TikTok at Creative Differences Pod. We have a bunch of different social media names.
One day we will consider consolidating somehow.
We're trying. A lot of them are taken. It's a struggle. But yeah, if you want to talk to me, you can talk about the boys, Gen V, my boy Diori and his music. I'm on Twitter and Instagram at a king named Simba. They cannot find me. She is mysterious.
The voice of God is everywhere.
And in honor of Pride Month, if you want to find Gabby, she's on Twitter at a little by curious, and if you want to find Cassie, she's on Twitter at a little by furious.
I love it so much.
Thank you. Guy, I don't know if you know, but every time one of them misses an episode, I got to make up a fake Twitter name for them.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know that.
Yeah, it's every time I do it. And
wow.
Yeah.
That's
So, yeah.
funny. That's
all right, y'all. Thanks for coming through again, man.
Thank you so much. I hope y'all have a great day, and thank you.
Yes, thank you. It's been different, audience. Bye.